Hello and welcome to Business 360. I'm Shireen Bhan. The headlines we're tracking this evening. The Sensex and the Nifty end flat after a late recovery. IT stocks logged the worst trading day in 2 months after US software company EPAM trimmed its growth outlook. Foreign investors are showing unprecedented levels of interest in India, says Morgan Stanley's Ridham Desai. Adds that many stocks are at attractive valuations, but index returns are likely to be a bit modest. Government garners more than 7,000 crore rupees as dividend from public sector companies in FY23. Sources say dividend from PSU banks is up nearly 30% to 12,000 crore rupees, with SBI accounting for a lion's share of the proceeds. Crisis-hit edtech company Byju files a lawsuit against the lenders of its $1.2 billion term loan B in New York, accuses Redwood Capital of predatory tactics, issues a notice to disqualify it as a lender, elects not to make interest payments until the case is resolved. Aditya Birla Group enters the branded jewellery retail business with a new venture called Novel Jewels. Announces large format stores across India for an investment of 5,000 crores. This is their third major foray into a new business in the last 2 years. India's internet economy is expected to grow sixfold and touch $1 trillion by 2030, according to a study by Google, Temasek, Bain & Company. Expects B2C e-commerce, SaaS and online travel to be the top growth drivers. Apple enters the Metaverse, launches a mixed reality headset, marking its first major product launch in 9 years. The $3,500 device will hit stores next year. Apple also launched what it claims to be the world's thinnest 15-inch laptop. US market regulator sues the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance, and its founder alleges the crypto exchange mishandled consumer funds and transferred it to a European company controlled by Zhao. Zhao says that the US is accusing key crypto players for not following rules which do not even exist in the first place. CBI takes over the Odisha train accident case, files an FIR. A 10-member team begins its probe. Railway officials have not ruled out a possible sabotage behind the tragic accident that killed 275 people and injured 900. Ukraine accuses Russian forces of blowing up a strategically important dam in Kherson, which supplies water to a nuclear plant, and the region of Crimea. Emergency evacuations begin as war zone faces flooding risk. Russia blames the dam's destruction on Ukrainian shelling. And Honda marks its re-entry into the SUV space with the global debut of Elevate. Bookings will begin next month, but the company is yet to reveal the pricing. Well, straight to the market action of the day. The Sensex and the Nifty managing to recoup losses in late trade to end flat. The mid-cap index has also seen marginal gains, ending in the green for the 12th straight session. IT stocks, though, have seen sharp cuts after US software company EPAM trimmed its growth outlook. With all the IT bigwigs facing selling pressure, the IT index lost nearly 2% today. Prashant standing by to wrap up the market action for us. What happened to the IT pack, Prashant?
All day, the market did not do very much. It was a grinding kind of price action. But in the last 30 minutes, things perked up. You know, that 3 p.m. factor move always comes through nowadays. And today was no different. Big sharp move. There was a Fin Nifty contract expiring. That's Tuesday expiry. Perhaps something to do with that. I'll get to stocks there from the financial space in just a bit. The IT index was under pressure, and there was a clear standout kind of mover. On the downside, though, Tech Mahindra, TCS, Infosys, large cap IT losers, persistent emphasis, Coforge, Cyient, Zensar Tech, and many others which came under profit booking. There was a global IT company which issued a profit warning, and the IT stocks here saw some money being taken off the table. Large caps, Axis and Kotak perked up in the last 30-40 minutes of trade, providing that Philip, Ultratech and Grasim from the cement space, large caps, and autos have looked good for a while now. Maruti, Tata Motors, Hero MotoCorp are some of the names which did well. Broader markets, advanced decline was positive earlier. Mid-afternoon, it slipped into the negative. By close, it was back in the green. More advances as compared to losers, and really rich and varied move once again. Suzlon, Aegis Chemicals, HPL Power, Nelco, Sharda Cropchem, Angel One, just to give you an example of flavor of the kind of moves, and it doesn't fall into this or that bucket, and it's pretty varied. Mahindra CIE, Force Motors, Railtel, JSW Energy, Shakti Pumps, ADF Foods, Nucleus, and so on and so forth. It's a long list. And I'm just, by the way, sticking with stuff which had large volumes. So once again, the action is not in the top 50, it's not even in the top 100. It's the 101st to the 300 stock which are seeing a lot of the price action. Markets, at least on the indices, seem to be in a bit of a wait-and-watch mode. And I think it's been clear on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty for the last several days now. RBI decision day after tomorrow, and I think markets will want to wait to hear from the RBI in terms of the decision and what it wants to do in terms of future policy direction as well. Back to you.
Okay, Prashant, many thanks for joining us. Now, the National Stock Exchange has revised the weekly options expiry date of the Nifty Bank contract to Friday of every week. NSE said the decision was based on feedback from market participants. Earlier, all weekly option contracts expired on Thursday. This will take effect from the 7th of July, and the first Friday expiry will be on the 14th of July. The big market voice this evening, Morgan Stanley's Ridham Desai, says foreign investors are showing unprecedented levels of interest in India. Speaking to CNBC-TV18, Desai said he expects the rural economy to recover in 3 months, adding it's inevitable that rural India will start to flourish soon.
I think in 3 months from now, you should see pretty good signs of a rural recovery. So the seeds have been sown. Coming out of COVID, rural India actually took it on the chin. Urban had led the recovery, and now it's spreading to rural India. It's inevitable that rural India starts flourishing. So I am actually quite constructive on rural India, and in fact, in our recommended portfolio of stocks, we have a lot of rural players in there because we think that they should do quite well over the next 12 to 24 months.
Well, that's Ridham Desai. Now, the government is all set to garner more than 70,000 crore rupees as dividend from public sector units for FY23. Dividend from PSU banks has gone up 30%, with SBI accounting for a lion's share of the payout. Sapna standing by with more. Sapna.
So basically, 11 to 12 thousand crores is what the government has earned from dividends as dividend from public sector banks. On the higher side, of course, this would be around 38% at 12,000 odd crores. And on expected lines, but interestingly, nevertheless, a lion's share of this has been contributed by State Bank of India. Around 5,500 crores of that dividend accruing to the government has been paid by State Bank of India alone, and State Bank of India per se, that's up by around 52% odd. So last year in total, the government had earned around 87,100 crores as dividend from PSBs. This year it's up to around 11 to 12 thousand crores. Last year, SBI paid around 26,100 crores as dividend to government. This year, the number is around 55,100 crores. Well, the reasons are pretty much clear. PSBs have put in a really strong performance in the year gone by, 1 lakh crore PAT, though it was on expected lines, but government at its end doesn't really put out numbers, so to speak. Also, if you look at the CPSE side, 59,000 crores, they exceeded the budget target in terms of dividends from there. So both put together, net a tidy 71,000 crores almost is what the government has netted, both from the PSBs and CPSEs. Now, the current financial year, we'll have to wait and watch. There are certain challenges on the horizon, and plus on a high base, you'll have to really try and have a growth higher than that. But early days, even the first quarter is not over yet. So, let's wait and watch what happens in this year.
Okay, Sapna, many thanks. And JK Cement has announced that it will acquire 100% stake in Toshali Cements. The total cost of the acquisition is nearly 160 crores. Post the deal, Toshali will become a subsidiary of JK Cement. In a regulatory filing, the company said this acquisition will help expand its footprint in the eastern region of the country. The Adani Group has repaid loans of $2.65 billion that were taken by pledging shares in the conglomerate's listed firms. In its credit note, the group also said it's repaid another $700 million in loans taken for the acquisition of Ambuja Cement. Further, the credit update states that the promoters have completed the sale of shares in 4 listed group entities to GQG partners for $1.87 billion. Crisis-hit edtech company Byju has filed a lawsuit against the lenders of its $1.2 billion Term Loan B in New York. The company has accused Redwood Capital, and I quote, of predatory tactics, and has issued a notice to disqualify it as a lender. Byju has also chosen not to make any payments until the case is resolved. Ritu joins us now with the details. Ritu, Byju's taking its lender to court, refusing to pay. What is this about?
Well, Shireen, it's quite the interesting case. Byju has said it has now filed a complaint in the New York Supreme Court to challenge the acceleration of that $1.2 billion term loan, and it also wants to disqualify Redwood, which is its creditor and also an investment management firm. Now, Byju says it had to take these measures following a series of what it terms are predatory tactics by the lenders led by Redwood, and it said that earlier in March, lenders, and I quote them again, unlawfully accelerated the term loan on account of certain alleged non-monetary and technical defaults. It alleges that lenders undertook unwarranted enforcement measures, which included taking control of Byju's alpha and appointing their own management, and even attempted to deprive Byju's of its contractual right to disqualify lenders in a Delaware court, which of course later the court had turned down, it said. At the same time, Byju's has alleged that Redwood purchased a significant portfolio of its loan while primarily trading in distressed debt with the intent of, again, Byju alleges making windfall gains. And so it had to issue a notice to Redwood entities disqualifying them. And once such disqualification takes effect, Redwood will be restrained from exercising critical rights under its contractual term loan. Now, the company interestingly claims that so far it has demonstrated remarkable restraint by refraining from utilizing the disqualification clause and instead striving for months to achieve an amicable resolution with the lenders. But now, with these legal proceedings afoot, the company says it cannot be expected to, and it has elected not to make any further payments to lenders until the dispute is settled. It also claimed it is financially robust and ready to pay and work with lenders if they withdraw these actions. Now, really to sum it up, the move to disqualify a lender and take action against it, the development is as important as it is interesting, because while, it may not be uncommon in the US, for India, it is not seen before, and this is going to set a precedent for future cases to come.
Yes, it most certainly will. Unusual and interesting. Many thanks for joining us, Ritu. Now, the Aditya Birla Group bets on the branded jewellery retail space with an investment of around 5,000 crore rupees. The group's new venture, Novel Jewels, will set up large format exclusive jewellery retail stores across India with in-house jewellery brands. This is their third major foray into a new business in the last 2 years. Novel Jewels will be operated by a newly recruited leadership team. Godrej Consumers announced the appointment of Asif Malbari as its new Chief Financial Officer. The role will come into effect from the 10th of August. The current CFO Sameer Shah will transition into a group role where he will be leading the consumer investment segment of the company. Malbari is currently the Chief Financial Officer of Tata Passenger Electric Mobility. India's internet economy is projected to grow sixfold and is set to reach around $1 trillion by 2030. That, according to a joint report by Google, Temasek, Bain and Company. India's B2C commerce segment, along with SaaS and online travel, will be the leading sectors that will drive growth. I caught up with top executives of the companies on the need for cyber safety and the key growth drivers that will help India achieve its $1 trillion target for the internet economy by 2030.
Consumers in tier 3, tier 4 towns is as adaptable, as keen to really get on to digital. One. Second, we think of digital economy through startups. But you find in India, both large and small traditional businesses are really investing deeply and powering the digital economy forward. And third, the leap from UPI to ONDC. So I think all these three fundamental shifts, in my mind, is what stands out. So therefore, we feel very confident, and I feel personally very confident, that we are ready for the big leap as India in getting to a $1 trillion digital economy.
There are sectors in here which absolutely have a significant export potential. So SaaS, for example, is one of them. It clearly, even today, is a very significant export-led opportunity. We think that is absolutely going to grow very fast, and it'll remain export-led.
Across our portfolio, across the ecosystem, we are seeing a lot of M&A opportunities. So, the strong players are acquiring the weak. We're very, very focused on technology, on the consumer space. Within that, we have made a lot of investments on D2C models. Yeah. We have made a lot of investments in health, wellness, in fintech, in healthcare delivery. So I think we will continue to see opportunities across the spectrum.
And you can catch more of that conversation on our startup special, Young Turks, at 6 p.m. right here on CNBC-TV18. We will head into a break, but up next, Apple enters the Metaverse, launches a mixed reality headset, marking its first major product launch in 9 years. That and more when we return.
CNG is good. But to get something, you have to give up something.
OMG! It's CNG! Big boot, big appeal, big reaction. OMG! It's the Altroz iCNG.
IQ Lighting Limited, an Indian manufacturer of LED lighting solutions focused on sustainability and providing low-energy LED products to help India meet its sustainability goals. Initial public offering of equity shares of face value of 10 rupees each through the book building process with a price band of 270 rupees to 285 rupees per equity share. Bid offer opens on Tuesday, June 6, 2023, closes on Thursday, June 8, 2023. For risk factors and more details, please refer to the RHP available on the websites of SEBI, the book running lead manager and the stock exchanges.
अभी और कितने चक्कर लगाने पड़ेंगे सर जी?
आप इतनी सी बात क्यों नहीं समझते सर जी? आप हमारा ध्यान रखो, हम आपका ध्यान रखेंगे।
ओ।
9501 200 200 ये तो
एंटी करप्शन एक्शन लाइन।
मैडम जी आप बेकार में परेशान हो रहे हो। मैं कराता हूँ ना 2 दिन में आपका काम। आप तो बस चढ़ा देना, घर बैठे आ जाएगा आपका लाइसेंस। आपको ड्राइविंग टेस्ट की भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी। पक्का जी पक्का।
तो आपने एक नंबर लिखिए, जब बन जाएगा तो उस पे कॉल करिएगा 9501 200 200 एंटी करप्शन एक्शन लाइन।
अगर आपसे भी कोई रिश्वत मांगे तो कॉल करें 9501 200 200। एंटी करप्शन एक्शन लाइन से पिछले 1 साल में अब तक 300 से ज्यादा भ्रष्टाचारी गिरफ्तार हो चुके हैं। पंजाब में रिश्वत लेने वालों की अब खैर नहीं।
पंजाब के लोगों को ये संदेश देना चाहता हूँ, पंजाब को भ्रष्टाचार मुक्त बनाना हमारा वादा ही नहीं, गारंटी है।
डायबिटीज कंट्रोल करने के लिए आपने इतने स्टेप्स उठाए।
नो थैंक्स।
तो हमने भी आपके लिए एक कदम बढ़ाया। बजाज अलियांज लाइफ इंश्योरेंस प्रेजेंट्स डायबिटिक टर्म प्लान, इंडियाज ओनली टर्म प्लान एक्सक्लूसिवली डिजाइन फॉर डायबिटिक्स। ये प्लान आपको हेल्दी लाइफस्टाइल अपनाने पर रिन्यूअल प्रीमियम्स पे रिडक्शन देता है।
Keeping up with the pace of life is not easy. To find the perfect balance, we need to savor the pause. See? It never ends.
फर्स्ट स्टेप मिस किया, चलिए कोई बात नहीं, लेकिन इसके फ्यूचर के हर बड़े कदम के लिए जरूर तैयार रहिएगा चिल्ड्रन ओरिएंटेड म्यूचुअल फंड्स के साथ।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Apple has officially entered the Metaverse. The tech giant unveiled its much-awaited augmented reality headset, the Vision Pro, at its developers conference last evening. The $3,499 headset marks Apple's first major product launch since 2014. CEO Tim Cook claims the Vision Pro is the first Apple product you look through and not at. The device can be controlled using the wearer's eyes, hands and voice. The Vision Pro will hit shelves next year. The tech giant also unveiled what it claims to be the world's slimmest 15-inch laptop. Shivani Gharat gets us all the action from the Apple headquarters in California.
Apple's much-awaited Worldwide Developers Conference began last night with the tech giant announcing some cool new devices and features. The Cupertino-based iPhone maker announced its first new category launch since 2015 when they launched the Apple Watch, which was their first wearable. And this one is called the Vision Pro. It's a mixed reality headset which looks right out of the future. Priced at $3,500, it's at least a year away from launch, but has already generated a lot of waves online. It's a product that CEO Tim Cook described as the first Apple product you look through and not look at.
I believe that augmented reality is a profound technology. Blending digital content with the real world can unlock experiences like nothing we've ever seen. So today, I'm excited to announce an entirely new AR platform with a revolutionary new product.
Controlled by users' eyes, hands and voice. The Vision Pro also features an ultra-high-resolution display system that packs 23 million pixels across its two displays. These groundbreaking innovations are in fact powered by Apple Silicon in a unique dual-chip format. M2 along with a brand new R1 chip processes inputs from 12 cameras, 5 sensors and 6 microphones to ensure that content feels like it's appearing right in front of the user's eyes in real time.
Well, that's what's hot from Apple. Now, US market regulator has sued the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance, and its founder. The SEC has alleged that the crypto exchange mishandled customer funds and transferred the funds to a European company controlled by founder Genpeng Zhao. Arjun Karpal gets us more on the charges against Binance. Arjun.
Over the last 12 to 15 months, a number of issues and regulatory scrutiny as well. And the question here is, what happens as a result of this SEC action? Remember, Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange, if for some reason they have to shut down parts of their operation or cut back, that could really hamper trading in what has already been a thin market for trading over the past few months. The retail investors who got burned at the last price crunch haven't really come back into the market, and there's questions about what kind of ripple effects any kind of impact from Binance going under may have on things like trading as well as stable coins as well. But really what this speaks to is a bigger debate that's been going on over the past few months between the crypto industry and the SEC in particular, and that is the crypto industry saying, well, look, the rules are not clear for us. We don't know what we can do. And the SEC going back saying, look, securities rules have been in place for a long time and they're very, very clear.
Arjun, many thanks. Now back home, after market regulator SEBI took action against financial influencers like PR Sundar, many are now adopting to a new practice to avoid scrutiny. CNBC-TV18 has learned from sources that a section of financial influencers have started renting licenses from registered research analysts and registered investment advisors to avoid the regulatory glare. Shivani joins us now with more. Shivani, what are you picking up on this license rental?
Well, amid an increased watch on the financial influencers and many crackdowns in the recent past, industry insiders tell CNBC-TV18 that many unethical practices are being followed in the market. One of the activities that is on a rise is renting licenses to dole out investment advice. Industry sources tell CNBC-TV18 that many financial influencers are partnering with smaller research analysts to use their licenses to reach out to clients. Important to note that this practice is a violation of the SEBI code. Influencers that CNBC-TV18 spoke to said that renting research analyst licenses for a fee is indeed happening, and the influencers pay around 15 to 20% of the fee they earn by providing stock tips and trading calls. Even registered investment advisors are being targeted for such partnerships. According to RIAs, financial influencers want to use the names of RAs and RIAs to make their advice sound more credible. This advice ranges from trading tips to investment options. RIAs say that calls for partnerships from these influencers have increased after SEBI penalized YouTuber PR Sundar, and financial influencers that CNBC-TV18 spoke to said that the influencer community wants to avoid the restrictive nature of RAs and RIA licenses and hence are looking for partnerships with the registered entities. The influencers claim to be backed by or working with or in partnership with registered investment advisors and research analysts in their communication to clients and followers. Important to note that such communication by RIAs and RAs now come under strict advertisement norms, which is not applicable on influencers as of now.
Shivani, many thanks for joining us. And with that, it's time for us to wrap up this edition of Business 360. Do stay tuned to CNBC-TV18. The news continues when we return.